I always think that a Huggins team and a West Virginia team is a tournament team. Like they're going to get a caliber of player and coaching that should get them there, and that happens far more likely than it doesn't. So when players start to bail and players graduate, okay, it's not necessarily like, man, they're going to stink. It's like, how is this picture going to look for a tournament team? And then, like, we've been consistent about talking about this. They were going to get experienced players from Power Five conferences, and they had to have, 1 to 2 guards. They had to have 1 to 2 bigs, and they wanted a wing. And they went out and they got the guards, and say what you want about Stevenson and Toussaint, but I think that fits what they want to do. You have guys who are eager and who want to make it work and who do want to be here. Toussaint's a really good example of a guy who's played competitively for good teams and wants a little more spotlight. That's okay. Stevenson fits in. I think he can do an impersonation of different needs for what the offense and the defense have. Matthews knows his way around here. I think he's a good glue piece. Wade and Bell seem like they're, I don't know. We'll see. But frankly, they don't have to be as great right now when you add Mitchell. Mitchell would be the one that made me put my feet in the wet cement, I guess, because I just think he's that type of a talent they can get right. They wouldn't do this at this point unless they've done their homework and they're sure they can get a waiver and that they're sure he can be a contributor. I'm sure there have been conversations with him and his people and make sure this is going to work. That would be the one that put me over the top. But I was always going in that direction. And really nothing they did made me say, uh-oh, step back. Uh-oh, move to the side. Let's see where this goes. Because I thought they were going somewhere with this. They were going to keep doing things until the picture looked right. And they've done that up until, what was that, Friday with Mitchell.
Right. And this was something I'm in full agreement here because this was something I talked about I wrote a story. God, when was that? It was right after the season. It was a look back at Bob Huggins' history of quote unquote fixing it and looking at the times that his team has finished under 500 and what happened in the year or two after that season. The first 2 times that happened to him wasn't his fault. It was his first year, I believe, at each of his stops in those instances. The second 2 times were his 2 times under 500 at West Virginia. This would be his third. And both times there was tremendous turnover in the offseason, but not in a bad way, almost like in a pruning. Like I'm not meaning this negative towards anybody that has left the program, but like pruning some of the bad limbs, the dead limbs, and trying to let new growth come in and adding new pieces. And I think that's pretty much what he's done. Again, like some pieces that left were good, but I think they brought in some new life and some better pieces that might make this a more well-rounded team and one that's going to play his style and get them back into the tournament. Because this is what he does. When things don't go right, it's all right, scrap it, let's start over. And tries to start over by doing not starting over literally from the ground up, but with new players that are experienced and can handle it. So I'm with you. I think this is a tournament team. I think this is something that you and I have been predicting he would be doing, a massive overhaul with experienced players. And here we are, and maybe not done,